Sada ended up leaving T Grizzly's label not long after JB was killed, claiming his career wasn't managed properly and because he was angry over the fact that T would drop a track with his ops. The beef between Sada and Dugg escalated even further after a party in Detroit that they were both at.
That's crazy. So that means that Sada Baby really was the reason why his auntie died. That nigga right after, man, that's crazy as fuck. Man, what's up, YouTube? We back with another video like we never left the YouTube shit. Hey, we ain't really got too much to say, man. All I gotta really say to y'all boys is tune in every single Friday for the giveaways. Yes, sir. Yeah, boys, right there. We're starting giveaways every single Friday. We're probably gonna pick around 10 winners per day. We're gonna try to do 10 winners per day. Not really too. We're gonna do some calm shit. We ain't gonna do nothing too serious like give away $100. We might. You never know, man. That's when we start, you know what I'm saying, make money from YouTube. So right now we're not making money from YouTube, but we still contributing to you guys. Cause you guys ain't y'all niggas fault that we ain't making money from YouTube, nigga. So sad. So you finna go ahead and get to the video. We ain't finna waste too much time. We finna, you know what I'm saying? Let's go and get into it. So like, comment, subscribe, man, so we can get to that goal. We can start making money from YouTube. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Keep, you know
Rap is a competitive genre. When two rappers from the same city start gaining attention, drama and past beef can escalate into an all-out war. Fotu Dugg and Sada Baby are two rising rappers from Detroit who are locked into a deadly beef that has claimed countless lives, including the innocent family members of another rapper who got caught in the middle of their beef. Let's get right into it.
That's what happened to T Grizzly.
Fotu Dugg is a popular rapper from the 6 Mile area on the east side of Detroit. Dugg's history in the streets is well documented, and he's a respected artist in the city. He has ties to the 6 Mile Fotu Hustle gang, a set of the Crips. Not much is known about Dugg's childhood, but what's clear is that he's been in the streets from an early age. In 2010, at just age 15, Dugg was sentenced to 4 years in prison for carjacking and possession of a firearm. After getting into a fight with another inmate, Dugg was sentenced to an additional 2 years and spent a total of 6 years locked up. 21
years old.
In interviews that he started rapping while he was locked up and decided to go hard with his music career after being released. Dugg was already respected in the city, so he easily built a local buzz. But blowing up from the Detroit rap scene isn't easy. Only a few artists from Detroit like Eminem or Big Sean have managed to make it to a mainstream level, and if Dugg wanted to be the next rap superstar, he'd have to collab with popular artists outside the city. So Dugg did just that, and after meeting Lil Baby in the Dice Game, he was featured on the tracks We Paid and Grace from the Atlanta rapper's 2020 album My Turn. This exposed Dugg to a whole new audience and pushed his career to new limits. He also became cool with another music industry veteran, Yo Gotti, and signed to his label CMG. Dugg is also signed to Lil Baby's 4PF label, so he was able to push himself into both the Atlanta and the Memphis rap scenes while being mentored by some of the biggest names in the industry. Things were looking good for Fotu Dugg, and it seemed like he would be the next major rapper to hold it down for Detroit. But Dugg isn't the only artist blowing up in the city. Another rapper who's a sworn enemy of the Fotu Hustle gang, named Sada Baby, was also blowing up around the same time. Sada Baby is from the 7 Mile area of East Detroit. Unlike Dugg, Sada Baby was not in the streets from such an early age and gravitated toward that lifestyle later on. He started rapping at age 19 and would freestyle for a few hours every day to practice. But after 3 years, the music still wasn't paying the bills and he was forced to live at his grandma's house and get a job. It wasn't until he was 22 or 23 that he decided to join the gang and became affiliated with the Red Zone Bloods in his neighborhood. Sada Baby has faced a lot of backlash for joining the gang at an older age. Most active gang members jump off the porch before they're 18, and joining the gang at 22 in many places isn't allowed. There's also the fact that Sada Baby's cousin, Icewear Vezo, is a Crip from another area of Detroit, and they've collaborated on music and videos together in the past. But in an interview with Hip Hop DX, the rapper explained that their relationship went deeper than the streets, and they respected each other too much to beef over gang affiliation. But even if he started gangbanging at an older age, Sada Baby still reps the Bloods and is one of the most popular rappers coming out of Detroit. This means that he inherited any beefs his gang has with rival sets, including the Fotu Hustle Boys. These two gangs have been at war for over 15 years. The 7 Mile Bloods were originally the dominant group in the area and had beef with most of the other local gangs, including the Fotu Crips. The beef began to change around 2014 after a shooting outside a parole office led to an all-out war. Two Hustle gang members, known as Fotu Twins, crossed paths with a member of the 7 Mile Bloods outside the building where they all had appointments to meet with their parole officers. The Fotu Twins jumped into a car with other members of their gang and were chased by the ops. The Bloods opened fire, hitting one of the Fotu Twins and another Hustle gang member in the car. Both the Fotu Twins survived the shooting, but Dewan Neff Page, the other dude who was shot, ended up going into a coma and later dying. Several members of the 7 Mile Bloods were picked up for the shooting. The Fotu Twins were supposed to testify in court against their ops, but refused to take the stand at the last minute. After Page's death, the Fotu Hustle gang allied themselves with other enemies of the 7 Mile Bloods to challenge their control over the area and avenge the death of Neff. This resulted in a violent feud that rages to this day. So Dugg and Sada Baby are sworn ops purely based on their gang affiliation. Dugg and Sada Baby were never cool with each other, but there wasn't any active beef until another artist got involved. T Grizzly is another popular rapper from Detroit who has been on the scene for a minute. He first blew up back in 2016 with his track First Day Out that he recorded and released the day he got out of prison. T Grizzly was never gang affiliated, but he did grow up in the streets. He was mostly raised by his grandmother in West Detroit because his parents were constantly in and out of jail. In 2011, his mother was sentenced to 20 years for drug trafficking and his father was murdered in 2012. But despite having such a rough childhood, the rapper did his best to stay on the right path and even attended Michigan State University to study finance and accounting. But while in college, he struggled financially and began robbing other students' dorms for cash and electronics. He was eventually caught, but released while the school conducted an investigation. During that time, he and his friends went on the run and ended up robbing a jewelry store in Lexington, Kentucky. The robbery was unsuccessful, and Grizzly, along with his 3 accomplices, were arrested. He was sentenced to 9 months for the jewelry store robbing and 18 months to 15 years for the robberies at Michigan State. He was released in 2016 and blew up with his First Day Out freestyle quickly after. Ever since, he's built a name for himself as one of the leading artists in the Detroit rap scene, having collaborated with everyone from Meek Mill to Lil Durk.
That shit blew him up, I ain't gonna lie. And not a lot of niggas do it. Knew really that too much about T Grizzly, but when they heard about like how that nigga was cut through the hell and would rob any nigga when he ain't have money, which was most niggas would do, they found out like that nigga was really gang hood. Them niggas, of course, they gonna flock to that nigga, even though in reality he really had no real gang ties with nobody. He tried to choose the right route, but it helped his marketing. So
gang affiliated doesn't mean you can't get wrapped up in gang beef. And T Grizzly has gotten himself in the middle of the war between the 6 Mile Crips and 7 Mile Bloods by playing both sides. Early in his career, T Grizzly collaborated with one of the 4-2 twins on a track called Secrecy. But not long after, T went and signed Sada Baby to his own record label. 4-2 twin wasn't feeling the fake love and took to social media to call out T Grizzly for pretending to f with him and then turn around and sign his op. T Grizzly responded by claiming that he was just trying to spread love and put some money in everyone's pocket, and he still gets accused of being fake. 4-2 Twins clearly wasn't feeling that response because he posted a photo of the rapper to Instagram with the caption, "Don't get your car flipped leaving off that block." T Grizzly followed up in the comments saying that Twins reached out to him for the feature and that none of his homies f with him because he isn't real. Twins responded by claiming to have receipts proving that Grizzly messaged him first and that he's with the homies every day. So after that exchange, T Grizzly was now at the center of the beef. Coming from the streets, the rapper should have known he was going to catch some heat for signing a rapper involved in an ongoing war in the city, but he definitely wasn't prepared for what came next. The rapper would go on to collaborate with 4-2 Dugg on the track MWBL in 2019, leading many to believe that the beef wasn't that serious. But as it turns out, the war was just beginning. In August 2019, Grizzly was in a black Chrysler in the 3 Mile area of East Detroit when someone sprayed the vehicle with bullets. The rapper wasn't injured in the shooting, but his 41-year-old aunt JB, who also acted as his manager, was shot and killed. Sada Baby was also managed by JB, and he could be seen attending her funeral in the video for T Grizzly's track, Sadish, where he raps about the shooting. Sada ended up leaving T Grizzly's label not long after JB was killed, claiming his career wasn't managed properly and because he was angry over the fact that T would drop a track with his ops. The beef between Sada and Dugg escalated even further after a party in Detroit that they were both at.
That's crazy. So that means that Sada Baby really was the reason why his auntie died. That nigga right after, man, that's crazy as fuck. That mean right after he signed the nigga auntie died, he just dipped. I ain't gonna lie. If that was me in that scenario, I would at least stayed and be like, man, I want to leave this fucking label. This nigga ain't got no goddamn good management at all, but I ain't gonna do that to him. He's still hurting, man.
Two Gang took the stage.
Ain't no, bro. I wouldn't do that.
The 7 Mile Bloods, while Sada was in the audience.
Sada Baby, that's
4-2 Dugg had something to do with the situation where Sada allegedly had his chain snatched at a recording studio. Sada was interacting with fans online when he let it be known that he wasn't cool with Cleveland rapper Doughboy. Doughboy wasn't feeling the disrespect and took to social media to clown Sada for being a fake blood and getting his chain snatched at the studio. Sada responded by saying that Doughboy's claims were all cap and he was just trying to gain some clout by mentioning his name. Doughboy followed up with another video where he gives even more details about the alleged robbery. He claims that Sada Baby got stripped naked and robbed with his own gun. The robbers got away with the rapper's chains, bracelets, money, drugs, and everything else he had on him at the time. Sada then ran into the other room where Doughboy was hanging out and started wilding out about the robbery. Doughboy didn't like his energy, so he pulled a strap out on him to make him calm down, which is why they don't like each other. After Doughboy aired him out, 4-2 Dugg followed up with his own IG story clowning Sada for getting robbed and takes credit for being the one who sucked him up. Sada continues to claim that this is all cap, and both rappers are just looking to gain some attention by mentioning his name. There isn't any camera footage or other evidence from the night of the robbery to prove whose side of the story is real, so it's up to the fans to decide who they're rocking with. Since then, both sides have been sending disses at each other in interviews and on social media. Both Sada and 4-2 Dugg were featured on the track Friday Night Cypher off Big Sean's album Detroit 2. In an interview, Sada suggested that Dugg's verse was trash and that he had no idea who was going to be on the song when he recorded his part. In the same.
Why are you niggas beefing over rap? Bro, y'all niggas need to stay. Come on, it's level to this shit. Why is you niggas getting mad that y'all on song? Like, what the fuck? Y'all niggas both getting paid for it. You hating because I don't like that nigga on this song. We be like, what the fuck? Nigga, ain't you still making bread from it? Why the fuck does that matter?
In interview.
This nigga on the same app with me. I don't like that.
He hopped on the track because he wanted to prove he was the better rapper. Around this time, Sada also shut down a club performance after a DJ played a T Grizzly and Fotu Dugg track back to back. He also called his former music partner a disloyal fake gangsta who hides in Detroit. Dugg responded to all the disses by posting a video to his Instagram saying that he's smoking on Helly Bloods today, disrespecting some of Sada's dead homies.
Today 420, man, we blowing Helly Blood.
Disrespect.
We blowing Helly Bloods today.
So neither side is trying to be subtle about how they feel about the other crew. Both rappers' careers have been taking off over the past few months. Fotu Dugg has been featured on tracks with major artists like Future and Roddy Ricch. Plus, Sada Baby had Nicki Minaj remix his track Whole Lotta Choppers, which ended up going viral on TikTok. So far, Sada Baby has stayed out of trouble with the law, while Fotu Dugg's past has come back to haunt him. In 2020, he was arrested for fleeing from police in a rental car, and not long after, he was arrested for violating his probation by visiting a gun range. He was also the possible target of another shooting that occurred at the filming of the music video for his collaboration with Roddy Ricch for The Game. Neither rapper was injured, but 2 other men were shot and later treated at the hospital. At first, fans thought that maybe Sada Baby had something to do with it based on their past beef, but another rapper from Mobile, Alabama named OMB Peasy was arrested in connection with the shooting. Peasy has maintained his innocence, but since it's an open case, he hasn't spoken out much about what happened. Internet rumors claim that Peasy was not the one shooting up the music video, but was firing back at someone who was. The rapper was arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and held on $60,000 bond. So if it was a case of self-defense, they probably wouldn't have arrested him, unless he refused to cooperate with the police. Peasy isn't known to have beef with Dugg or Roddy Ricch, but he has collaborated with Sada Baby on his track One Me. So if the 2 artists are cool, that could point to a possible motive. More details in this case are likely to come to light as the trial progresses and will reveal whether it had to do with this particular beef or if it was just an unrelated incident. Either way, things are still tense in the streets of Detroit and no one is truly safe. Hopefully, Sada and Dugg can leave the past alone so no more innocent bystanders get caught in the crossfire. But with so much drama, it may be hard for either artist to leave the street life alone and focus on music.
That shit crazy as hell, bro. Not gonna lie. Hey, man, but it was the end of the video. Y'all boys don't hit the like button, subscribe, comment below. Y'all niggas said y'all didn't want me talking that much in the video, so we're gonna test it out by not talking that much in this video at all. The reaction shit. Leave in the comments below if y'all mess with the change. But honestly, I'm not keeping it long term because it's my reaction channel. Like, this video is boring as hell. But like niggas in the comments will be like, "Oh, gang, stop talking, gang, bitch." Listen when I say this. This is a reaction channel, nigga. Right? If I see any more comments like that and below, which I really don't care about it personally, but it really do start to really get annoying. So what I'm gonna start doing for like niggas like that is you niggas is cut from what's it called, all giveaways. I'm gonna just do that. That's how we gonna stop you niggas. All giveaways. If I look at your comment, you do the steps, and I see that channel name, and I see your ass, bro. You cut. Make a new channel. Retry on a different account or some shit, gang. But yeah, we don't got too much else to say, y'all boys. Watch out for Fridays, man. We got some big things coming on the channel, y'all boys. See, we got lighting now. Okay. We're gonna go and get our y'all boys' face, though. You know what I'm saying?